Kampala City, the capital of Uganda, calm and settled at a glance. Like many African cities, it captures the sense of a growing urban area that is slowly enveloping every bare patch in the vicinity and in effect contracting space. This rather wet day, as early as 7 o'clock, is symbolic of how busy the city can be, with overflows of traffic after a climatic twist like this early daytime rainfall. The traffic jams grow threefold and running water gushes from the tunnels through any vents on the road network. This capital was established in the early 20th century during the colonial period with the capacity to harbor only a sizable number of residents. Today, it has millions of people, far exceeding the anticipated population, which has put pressure on the small metropolis.
Following the establishment of the colonial administration in Uganda, although the headquarters were in Entebbe for the colonial government, the commercial center started emerging in Kampala here in the early 20th century. Now, the early planners of Kampala did not accurately anticipate the trend of population growth and the infrastructure that was planned. For instance, the roads, when we look at the size of roads and the streets, did not anticipate a very big population. So you find we have narrow roads and this is causing a problem as traffic, the influx of traffic hits Kampala.
This has in turn brought forth challenges like population pressure, insufficient working space, heavy traffic flows on the narrow roads, and inadequate parking space. Such challenges have therefore called for need to devise long-lasting workable solutions for organized motor traffic, as well as efficient safe parking of motor vehicles. It was in this vein that a local company, MULTIPLEX Limited, introduced these services to offer organized parking for a fee, initially targeting motorists in the city center. They also worked with stakeholders like the city authorities to carve out as well as control the city parking space and reduce the pressure of traffic flow, thereby solving the need for parking in the city.
This company was started in the 80s with the objective of participating in the recovery of the infrastructure after the civil strikes of the 1980s. We saw the need to participate in recovery to the infrastructure. We saw it as a business opportunity, so we set up MULTIPLEX Limited. After the civil strikes of the 80s, like in other country which comes out of war, the infrastructure is completely is ruined to an extent. Our infrastructure was ruined. So at that time, Uganda was lucky to get aid from the European Union. So they financed the rehabilitation of the roads in Kampala. The project was running up to 1992. And we were beneficiaries as contractors. We were trained to how to repair roads by the European Union. We repaired the roads and they were paying us money for the on-the-job training. So when the project came to the end in 1992, we foresaw a problem. We had been enjoying employment as contractors, and we saw that the continuity of this work was a problem. So we quickly thought about an alternative source of money. So we made a proposal to Kampala City Council that to be able to feel the virtue of financing for maintenance of city roads, we could work together with the City Council, collect fees from motor vehicles parking along the streets, use that money to repair the potholes in the roads, sweep the roads, beautify the city by planting flowers on islands and repairing sidewalks and marking the roads, as well as replacing the missing road signs, the road furniture. So we made a study ourselves, voluntarily, presented it to City Council, and we indicated to them that By doing that, we could collect enough money to take care of the items issues I've mentioned, and at the same time be able to pay some revenue to Kampala City Council.
Taking over from an earlier service provider, Greenboat Entertainment, Multiplex introduced booths around the city where tickets for parking were sold, as well as maintained staff on the streets as ticketers. This measure made the city more organized and reduced on the occurrence of city accidents, most of which were caused by unorganized motoring, poor street parking, and absence of a system of regulation. This further involved carving out specific points on the ever-busy city streets and avenues on which motorists would park their vehicles at a minimal fee.
We have contributed towards easing the problems on the streets in the city because we ensure orderly parking of motor vehicles on the streets. Our people on the streets guide the motorists on how to park the vehicles properly in the parking bays that are available, leaving space for others also to be able to park. So that way we have more vehicles parking in the streets of Kampala, and of course our staff, although they are not required by law to look after motor vehicles, we've done our best to assist motorists keep their vehicles so that the small thefts of side mirrors and all that are reduced.
Despite the initial estimates of handling sizable motor parking in these areas, motoring has continued to grow at a speed higher than the rate of city expansion and the growth of the infrastructure, mainly the roads. This therefore means the available parking space is insufficient to cater for an ever-growing number of vehicles. It is evident that the parking services offered by Multiplex Limited have come with certain obvious constraints to the company. How then do they cater for everybody?
It is estimated that there are about 350,000 vehicles, motor vehicles in Uganda. These exclude motorcycles, of course. And out of these 350, about 60% are within the Kampala area. That would make it about 200,000 vehicles. And out of this number, 10% of them come to our parking areas. Those are about 20,000 vehicles that we serve every day. Now, to serve the 20,000 vehicles, we only have 5,300 parking spaces available. So this explains the difficulty that motorists are currently experiencing, and yet the population of vehicles is increasing at a high rate.
It is admittedly not strange for motor owners to walk into these offices and report that they didn't fulfill the right method of parking because they couldn't locate the relevant company staff.
Up to this time, our operations have been basically manual, and because of this, since we service very many clients have been coming back to say, yes, when we come, we want to pay, we can't see your staff, and others come complaining that the problem of change makes it difficult for them to pay our parking fees, which are just 400 for every time you park for an hour. So these have been constraints. We also have the problem of people who vandalize people's side mirrors and other vehicle parts, but we are struggling together with security agencies to minimize this price.
In light of this and many other challenges, Multiplex Limited has introduced a new measure of parking meters, which will make the parking service more quick and effortless. This will ease on service delivery and make accessibility to street parking more visible.
The parking meter project is part of our modernization initiative. When we were given an opportunity to work with Kampala City Council, we felt, one, that we needed to add something new to what we found using best practices. Secondly, we are responding to concerns expressed by our clients who would come claiming that the reason they at times default is because our attendants are not available when they want to leave. So in response to the concerns of clients and also pursuant to our desire to contribute towards improvement of Kampala, we made a proposal to KCC to allow us to make a study aimed at modernizing Kampala, parking in Kampala. And Kampala City Council gave us a go-ahead. We went ahead and carried out the study. Now, this study was undertaken by a local firm in collaboration with a foreign firm. This was Infrastructure Design Forum in collaboration with Sadia and Associates of Nairobi. This study came up with a report in February 2007, and this report made 3 important recommendations. The first was that we should implement or install pay and display parking meters. The second one was that we should have automated number plate recognition cameras, ease enforcement. And the third one was that parking charges should be revised upwards in order to cope, since the charges that were in place had last been set in 1998.
With the modernization of street parking, one is that they are going to get quick services. Quick services we mean, because when I'm in the office I normally get a lot of complaints. Your staff is nowhere to be seen. There is a distance to go and get tickets so that I can pay. So to avoid those problems, these are some of the reasons we decided to modernize and introduce parking meters so that people can be served quickly, people can do self-service. When you park, the machine is near you. You go, you estimate the time you are going to spend, whatever business you are going to conduct. If it's roughly 2 hours, you actually put 800 and it will give you a receipt or a ticket, parking ticket. You come and display at the dashboard and you go and attend to your business. When you come, you don't have to look for our staff, you just actually drive and go. So long as you have made sure that you have actually come back within the period paid for. But if you know you have exceeded, you will find another invoice when you have been given manual invoice. Because the system does not operate backwards. We shall only clamp those who are willing to default. But with this system of self-service, where a person to avoid paying, it will be his or her own mistake. But we expect to become very few people in the future, and we really expect better compliance from the public.
The meters, which will operate between 7 o'clock in the morning and 6 o'clock in the evening, are automated and self-propelling, which will give an instant response to the service needs of clients. The innovation gives the option of using prepaid cards or inserting coins, which will in turn instantly provide a parking ticket for a duration that the service user determines.
This machine uses 2 modes. You can use a card, you can use coin. The card looks like this, although we are going to print it to have the MULTIPLEX logo. And here you insert the coins. When you come to the parking meter, it will normally display coins or card. If you are going to use a card, for example, you insert the card into that slot, then you press OK. The machine prompts you to add. That means to increase the number of hours so that it can deduct the amount from the card which you already prepaid. Unfortunately, this card is not functioning. Once you increase up to the time that you want, let's say you want to do 1 hour, you say add. So it will increase 1 hour and show you the amount of 400. If you want 2 hours, you increase until you get the desired time. Then after you have gotten the desired time, you press OK and you get a ticket from here. After printing, the machine will go back to the options of coin or card. So that is how you're going to use the machine when you're using a card. To use coins, you will come and select add. It is directed below the option of coin. So you press coins and the machine prompts you to insert a coin. So depending with the duration of time that you want to pack, you put in the required amount. That is for 1 hour. If I want to do goods, I put 800. That is 2 hours. To get the ticket, you press OK. It gives you a ticket, which again you go and display on the dashboard. Then the machine reverts back to the options of coin and card for the next user. Now the machine is programmed in such a way that it will take coins of denominations 100, 200 and 200 and also 500. But it's important to note that it does not give change. If you are parking for 1 hour and you put in 500, it will not give you change of 100. At the same time, it is able to detect if you put in a fake coin, it will just come out. So it's important to know that 1, the machine does not give change, and 2, if you use a coin which is fake, a coin which is defaced, or a coin from another country, from Kenya, from Tanzania, it is going to be rejected.
Initially to be placed at specific points on the city roads, these meters are meant to complement the services of the multiplex ticketing staff on the streets, whose method has always been manual and rather time-consuming. They are also placed at distances of 15 parking slots, which locates them within easy reach for motorists. Drawing along the lines of similar or even larger cities around the world, Multiplex Limited found it inevitable to bring forth this innovative technology in view of the modernizing city and the rising constraints associated with the subsequent increase in usage of street parking.
Let us go to the city of London. We have the same area and the same size of the road, but the matter of how could you organize those what you have. For instance, that's why I say that is you're improving the parking system, you're improving the flow of the vehicles, you are creating what they call the congestion fees. This is a lot of things to be improving. But they are so that is, and then when you get this money, it will give the services for the people and also to get more and more services in Kampala State Council.
Countries are developing, cities are developing. So many other cities are automating their systems. And I think Kampala cannot be left behind. We are also starting to automate our systems and keeping in pace with the trend in the whole world. But perhaps the most important reason is the convenience for our customers, the people who use our facilities, people who park on the streets, who use our parking spaces. It's much more convenient to use these pay and display meters for several reasons. One, they don't get tired. You can find it there all the time. And the other reason is that you have several options with which you can pay for parking. You can use your coins. You can use a smart card to pay exactly for the money you are using. And it is very convenient.
Operations were manual as they have been under us, but we realized that it was important to get clients to know what they owe us. So we worked together with True African to be able to permit motorists to check their balances from their mobile phones. So currently, a motorist can find out what he owes under street parking by just sending a message on their mobile phone, and they'll know what they owe us. What we have focused on is training our staff in customer care. Our staff now are customer oriented. There are still a few problems, but we are moving forward, and we think our staff will be totally customer oriented by the end of this year.
Starting as a pilot project on a few roads, the technology is expected to expand and spread to most of the city streets in the near future.
During the pilot study, we identified particular roads where this exercise is going to take place. At the moment, we are going to do this study along Nile Avenue, Pilkington Road, along Kimas Avenue, along Parliament Avenue, Colville Street, Apro Kagwa Road. Those are the roads.
The innovation, however, means greater challenges to the company, including the effect on the workforce. Staff needs training to become accustomed to how it operates, and clients need knowledge of its application. According to Mr. Iga Stephen, this may include reorienting staff.
As you know, innovations phase out some jobs, but they create others. It is true that a few jobs may be lost, but at the same time, a number of new jobs have been created. For example, we shall now have people who are inspectors who will be moving around the streets to check people who have not displayed their parking tickets on the dashboard of their vehicles. Also, we did not have positions of technicians in this project. We have now created positions of technicians. These are people who are responsible for the maintenance and repair of the meters.
It will also mean conducting systematic public awareness campaigns on how the meter operates for the public users.
We are going to do a lot of sensitization. We are going to do a lot of education, and we are going to provide a lot of flyers so that people can pick and go and read on themselves to understand this new technology we have brought in Kampala.
Parking meters, all of us are going to be beneficiaries. When I talk about all of us, I'm talking about the pedestrians, I'm talking about the motorists, so it's going to be a benefit for all of us. So what we are going to do, we need to do a lot of sensitization, which we have already started. It's going to be a pilot project, the outcome of that pilot project is going to be a trigger to extend the service or the project further into the city. So our first issue is about the importance or the usefulness of that project to the public, which we have already started.
Wrong parking. This is typical of many road users here. It is symbolic of negligence that motorists can exhibit on many occasions when at the risk of creating accidents like this one that occurs within range. Correct parking. This follows the right rules of street usage as guided by MULTIPLEX Limited. In many instances, the company authorities have cracked the whip and clamped many vehicles as a way of penalizing lawbreakers. Such penalties are expected to be minimized through application of the parking meters, as staff will be more vigilant and available to guide on parking.
I have observed on several occasions how motorists park and time spent to get the ticket and the time spent writing the ticket, and even when you want to go out of this parking, you call someone in 200 meters to come and then you settle the receipt. So this will help in quick parking and empty these spaces for other motorists to park. There will be no delays in parking and going out of these parking spaces. And that one is a very good contribution to the traffic flow within the city. The security of these meters is guaranteed. We should note that police has surveillance cameras that are centered and commanded from police headquarters. Most of our streets are under surveillance of those cameras. Secondly, we do deploy in the city, and it is effective deployment where we deploy foot patrols both during the day and the night, and where we have mobile patrols. In case there is a problem, I also appeal to the public to guard these meters jealously. It is a good contribution to the traffic flow. So in case of anyone touching or trying to misuse them, they should quickly report to police, or they should report to those patrols or those police officers who are on foot patrol in the town.
MULTIPLEX hopes to take on more new systems in the future that will ease the process of parking and heavy traffic flows in the city.
We also intend to introduce other innovations. We are going to motorization as generally it's a project for improvement. We are introducing other measures like the automatic number plate recognition systems, which are on a camera basis, and that way we can be able to identify vehicles that owe us money and quickly inform these motorists without a lot of inconvenience to them. So we're generally trying to look at the way of making parking better for the people on the streets and also improving on revenue for Kampala City Council. We are trying our best to modernize, as you've been explained, to make sure, because the more modern the facilities are, the easier the parking, people park and leave and go. And also we are talking to Kampala City Council to avail us with land so that we can construct high-level parking facilities like other countries do it in the world. You can't stop a city from growing, you cannot stop the population from increasing, but you have to find solutions. One of the solutions is we think high-level parking bays will solve the problem.